Hey guys, AngryMonkey here with another RetroGameTreasure unboxing video. For those who are new to the channel and you're wondering what is RetroGameTreasure, this is a video game subscription service that sends you 3 to 5 games to your house every month to add to your personal collection. This is not a rental service, you get to keep these games. And these games come on a wide variety of different consoles, whether you want to go old school or a little bit newer. And by old school, I do mean really old school, really retro. Intellivision, Atari 2600, but they also have all the Nintendo stuff up to the Wii. So the NES, Super Nintendo, 64, GameCube, Wii, as well as the portable stuff of the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, and 3DS. Sega stuff, you got the Master System, the Genesis, the Sega CD, the Dreamcast, the Game Gear. Although don't expect Sega CD or Dreamcast in your box. I've gotten one of each before, but those are just kind of hard to find, and I intentionally did not mention Saturn because Saturn is sadly not a game console that they offer. But you've got all the Nintendo stuff. You've also got the PlayStation stuff of PS1, 2, 3, and 4, as well as PSP, as well as original Xbox, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. So, yeah, you got so many consoles to choose from. And so how this works, you go on the website, fill out a survey, but before we talk about the survey, we got to talk about two very important things to make sure that you get a good box. Along with a survey, of course, but two very important things is the checklist and the wish list. So on the checklist, let's just say you got Star Wars Battlefront on PS2. Well, you got to make sure you check off both versions of that game, because if you check off that you have the Black Label version of Star Wars Battlefront, RGT could still send you the Red Label Greatest Hits. So what I suggest is to check off that you have both versions, so that way you won't get both versions, unless you want both versions for some reason. I also suggest to go over to Original Xbox as well and check it off on there, unless you want it for both consoles. I've got it on PS2, I'm happy with it on PS2, I don't need it on Original Xbox. So I check off all versions of that game, unless for some reason there's a particular version of a game that I'm like, that would be kind of cool to get for one reason or another. The box art looks different, it kind of looks cool, or that version comes with additional DLC on the disc or whatever, then yeah, maybe I'll leave that version off, and then cool, I got a better version. But yeah, I check off all versions of the game, so that way I don't get a duplicate. However, I always forget somewhere of, oh, oops, I forgot to check that off on this console. I only checked it off on this console. Or, oh, I didn't know it was available on this console. So now I got two different... Yeah, so, like I said, just take my lesson to heart and don't do what I did and forget to check things off. Go on there, just double check all the consoles that you have games for, and you're like, yep, okay, this game, yeah, alright, I'm all covered. Because I get a lot of duplicates. Last month I didn't. The month before that I actually don't remember, but I get a lot of duplicates because I'm stupid. Okay. The other important thing is the wish list. Now, when it comes to the wish list, don't expect Earthbound in your box. Don't expect Little Samson or anything crazy like that. This is a $40 subscription service. Yeah, you're not going to get Earthbound in your box. But let's just say you got a Super Nintendo and you're like, hey, I would love to get Mario World. Yeah, okay, that's a realistic thing to put on your wish list. I am pretty good at getting a wish list item in every box, and I have for the last couple years. Now, for those who are wondering, wait a minute, Angry, you got a really bad box last month. Yeah, I kind of forgot that I put Tony Hawk 5 on my wish list. When I put it on my wish list, I didn't know it was as bad as it was. And I actually haven't played it yet, so who knows. Maybe I won't hate it like everybody else does. I don't know. Maybe I will, because I tend to hate video games more than I should. With all that out of the way, the next important thing is to go on the website, fill out the survey, and that survey helps you bring a custom box built specifically for you. Even if you and Jim Bob down the road have the same taste in games, you won't get the same box because every box is different, which is pretty cool. So yeah, check off the genres of games that you like to play, platformers or arcade games, shooters, horror, RPGs, whatever it is. Check off what you like, don't check what you don't like. So that way, if you don't like sports games, don't check sports games, and you won't get one of those sports games in your box that nobody seems to like. And those that do only do it to because they're just trying to collect everything for a particular console or whatever. Yeah, so don't check what you don't like. Obviously, check what you do. And obviously, the consoles is the other important thing. Check the consoles that you want games for, and you'll only get games for those consoles. So if you don't want 64 games, then don't check that on your box, obviously. Now, if you somehow do get a 64 game and you don't check that off, well, obviously, reach out to RGT and they'll fix that for you. They're usually pretty good. Like, I've had a couple issues where I'm like, hey, this game is kind of damaged, and in my next box, they give me an additional game to make up for the one that was damaged. So they're really good at customer service of, uh-oh, this guy got a bad box or a bad game or whatever. Let's send him an additional one next month. So that's really cool. Along with that, you can check if you like getting, along with the genres, there's like a sub-genre of like wrestling games and NASCAR games, skateboarding games, anime-based games, Pokemon-based games, Disney, whatever. There's like a sub-category of games that you would like to also help cater this box even more to you. You can also check if you want imported games, or if you're okay with kids games or rated M games. You can check that you have, say, an NES Zapper or a Super Nintendo mouse or Super Scope, to also be like, hey, I have these accessories, so I can take games that use those accessories. So again, this helps build this box even more customized to you. So I guess I should shut up on that, and you guys are like, what did you get? I'm curious too. So I'm going to change my battery here, and we're going to open this box up. Okay, what do we get? Okay, so as always, I'm going to turn the box around like this, so that way when I pull the first game out, we don't get spoilers of what the next game is. Okay, so first up, as always, we have the heroes of the box, our DiscountAirPillows.com, where pillows are inflated, not prices. And all three of these guys are in pretty good shape, so they did a great job. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You all did a great job. Okay, so what do we got? We got a weird-shaped Atari game. We got an Xbox One game. A PS4 game, and one that runs the length of the box, so either 360 or PS2, I'm guessing. Alright, so let's pull out the weird-shaped Atari game. We got Space Attack. I've never heard of this. Came out in 1982. Oh, it says Mattel. So, is this in television then? Oh, I guess it is in television. Yeah, I forgot. Intellivision has the slant. I'm just so used to getting Atari games that when I get an Intellivision game, I'm like, oh yeah. So yeah, Intellivision game, not Atari. But Space Attack. Okay. Okay, up next is the Xbox One game. We got Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition. Slink through the shadows as a deadly half-elf rogue, wields fearsome magic as a powerful gnomish sorcerer, vanquish your foes as an armor-clad dwarven paladin. Whatever hero you want to create, incredible adventures await. Discover magic, wonder, and danger at every turn on your own or with your friends in these classic Dungeons & Dragons adventures. This is pretty cool. This actually might be my pick of the box, and I don't know anything about it, but this sounds pretty cool. Okay, next. Well, this is a weird shaped box. It doesn't feel like a PS4. Okay, it is. But we got Knack on PS4. Pick up parts and grow to 3 stories tall. Discover the truth behind the mysterious relics. Okay. I guess it just felt like dirty or something. Maybe I need to just like clean up the front of the case. That's why I didn't recognize it. But yeah, we got a PS4 game. I'm sure this is in great shape. I mean, there's a scratch on it, but it doesn't look like it'll hurt the playability of the game. Okay, and so on the last game, I gotta flip the box over. Okay. I didn't see what it is. Oh, it is stuck in there. I'm pulling it out, but it is like stuck. There we go. Okay. And we got El Shaddai. Oh, this is an import game. Well, no, okay. It's not imported. It just has a PG over the rated E label. Or rated T label, I should say. Okay. I've never heard of this game, so this looks great. But obviously we have some gameplay up here. Show what kind of game it is. Yeah, this looks pretty cool. Yeah, so, oh, here's this. You got treasure. Here they are talking about the boss chest giveaway. So what that is you take a picture of your box and post it on social media, and you're entered the boss chest giveaway where you can possibly win a game console. I remember when I signed up for this in May of 2019, they were offering a Sega Master System as the boss chest giveaway item, which at that time I didn't have a Sega Master System. So I thought, oh, I need to do that. But I also remember at other points there was a Sega Genesis, there was a PS1 that were different boss chest giveaway items. So yeah, you can win a game console and then use the service to get games for the game console that you won, which is really cool. So yeah, that is what I got in this box. I am sticking with this. This game sounds really cool, so I think this will be my my pick of the box. But I mean, Space Attack, that just sounds kind of generic. There were a lot of space games on the Atari and Intellivision, so that one just kind of sounds generic. Yeah, maybe El Shaddai. Maybe that will be my second place pick. But I definitely a better box than last month. Last month was a huge disappointment. For those who are wondering what did I get last month, I mean, I mentioned Tony Hawk 5 earlier, but I also got a PS2 Atari Anthology, which had a good selection of games on there. But between me having the original Atari cartridges for a lot of those games, as well as them being re-released on the PS4 Atari collection, I also have it on Switch. So it's like, oh, okay, well, none of these games are anything that I don't already have. None of these are games that I can't play already. And I don't remember what my fourth game was, but I remember I got Top Gun, which is one of the worst games on the NES. So, yeah, last month wasn't that good, but this month is definitely a lot better. So yeah, let me know if you want to see any of these games played on the channel, and I'll write those in the comments below. But before you guys go, I got a decent amount of pickups from this past month. And, well, you guys kind of voted to just keep the video segments together like I've been doing. I posted a poll where I'm like, hey, do you want me to separate these from RGT or keep them all together? And, I mean, it was a pretty close, like, vote, but it seemed the majority wanted me to keep doing what I'm doing. So, here I am. Yeah, alright, let's move on to that next section. Okay, so the first set of pickups that I want to show are the things I picked up the same day that I got the Switch 2. Because like I said, I picked up a bunch of Amiibos and a few more games, so I figured I'd go ahead and show the Amiibos off to you. These aren't in any particular order, but I basically got all the new Amiibos. So I got the 4 Zelda Amiibos. I will open these, but I'll keep the boxes. I know that some people are like, no, keep them in the box. Like, no, guys, they fit better on my shelf when they're not in the box. And I want to be able to, like, hold them and all that. But anyway, I got the Zelda ones and the Street Fighter ones. So, there's Luke. I don't know how to pronounce the Zelda ones. But all the Street Fighter ones are just regular American names. Jamie, for example. And Kimberly. These are actually bigger. Like, look at the size comparison for the Street Fighter. You can't see that. Look at the size comparison of a Street Fighter amiibo versus a Zelda amiibo. No wonder why those are more expensive. Everybody's like, oh, amiibos are more expensive. They are, but there's a reason for that. Anyway, more amiibos. So yeah, I got all of the amiibos from this wave, and then I got 3 more games. These aren't any particular order of like saving the best for last or anything like that. These are just 3 more games that I got. So I got the Patrick game because it looked fun, just an open world sandbox game with Patrick, and I grew up with SpongeBob. I remember when the very first episode aired on Nickelodeon in April of 1999. I was 6, and I was hyped for that show, and SpongeBob is one of those things that defines my childhood. I mean, like, I don't know about how it compares to other things now, but when it comes to my childhood, I would probably put SpongeBob, like, under Pokemon and Bionicle for me. Like, SpongeBob was, like, that influential and just that important to me as a kid. So, I still have a little bit of an attachment to the SpongeBob characters, even though I don't watch it like I used to. Yeah. I picked up Catherine Full Body on the Switch 1, since now there's 2 Switches. It has a very nice, inner thing. I think this actually might be the design that's on the steel case. I remember the steel case having some kind of design like this. I don't know what the Catherine games are all about. I think this is the second one. There's one that's just called Catherine, and this one's Full Body, so I think this is the sequel. But I know it's made by Atlas, obviously by the little logo there. Is it tied to Persona anyway? Because, like, it just has a very Persona-type look to it. Is it? I don't know. Let me know. Or maybe future me knows. And then the last game I want to show off, maybe I'm saving the best for last, because I really like the steel case. For the LEGO DC Supervillains, this is for PS4. I couldn't tell if it was PS4 or if it was on PS5, but I knew it was for the PlayStation consoles. But yeah, the GameStop guy says this game is really good. He says 100%ing it is kind of annoying, because the collectibles are a little hard to find, but he says the game is really fun, which I expected, because LEGO games are just, they're fun. That's kind of the appeal. If you guys want a full history of the LEGO video games, Scott the Woz has a really good like 2.5 hour episode. Is that in focus? That is not in focus. And I got the disc in my hand. There we go. Yeah, I like that. This is a really nice steel case. But Scott the Woz has a really good history of LEGO video games, and kind of pointing out their flaws and the good ones, the not as good ones, and how some of them start to just become a little too formulaic for their own good. And then I know that he said that the Horizon LEGO game wasn't that good because it didn't really feel like a LEGO game. But yeah, like PS2, PS3, I guess going into PS4, those are all a solid time. So I'm excited to add another one. And like I said, I really like the steel case. So, yeah. So anyway, this is my first pickup for June. I mean, just in case you guys didn't already know, I mean, I mentioned already, but yes, I did get the Switch 2 Mario Kart bundle. So, this is the day after the Switch 2 came out, and I wasn't able to play Mario Kart yet, so I can't say if it's amazing or not, but I really want to play it. It looks great. So I'm sure if you guys ask me in the comments, how's Mario Kart World, I am hoping to have played it at least once by the time this video uploads, and I can say, oh yeah, it's amazing. Or I've seen better. Probably not that, but I'll have a more honest answer in the next section. So I guess we'll move on to that because it's June 6th right now. As of recording this, I know I'm going to have a lot more pickups as the month goes on. So let's move on to that. Okay, so we got another wave. I knew there would be another wave because that's how things work on this channel. So I was at GameStop, and I had like 8 games in my hand, and obviously I wasn't going to get 8 games because that's a lot of money, especially since this is still the same month that I got a Switch 2. But I did get a few games that were pre-owned. Anyway, yeah, let's get started. So, first up is Demon Slayer Sweep the Board. I think this is basically a Demon Slayer Mario Party type game. So it's like a board game, video game with mini games in there. Yeah, it's a Demon Slayer Mario Party. That just sounds interesting to me. I'm thinking like, I don't know how much I want this game, but I also figure it's so niche that if I don't buy it, I will probably never see it again. So that kind of added some pressure of, okay, let's go ahead and get it. Yeah. A game that I'm surprised I didn't have also on Switch was the Mario vs. Donkey Kong. This has been a long-running series, I think, since the original DS. I know they had some on the 3DS. I don't think I have a single one from the series, so I figured this would be fun to play on the channel, because it's kind of a puzzle where you have to, like, put the ladders and springs or whatever to have the Mario toys get to the Donkey Kong, I think. Yeah, rescue the mini Marios. So are you trying to... Yeah, okay. So the mini Marios are trying to get to the exit, and yeah, it's a puzzle game of trying to get the little Marios to the... I think? As always, that is showing the gameplay. So yeah, I got 2 Switch games, and then I got a couple PS5 games. I got After Image, which I've never heard of, honestly, but the inside looks nice. And obviously I had to block out that code there. But I looked it up, and they say it's a Metroidvania type game, so I'm like, okay, that sounds interesting. Like, Castlevania Symphony of the Night is great, Super Metroid is great, so when I see Metroidvania games, I'm like, I'm intrigued, so I picked that up. Not really a best for last, I mean, maybe it is, I don't know anything about this game, but I got a Plague Tale collection. So the first one was released on the PS4, and the second one was released on PS5. So these are remastered for the PS5. It just looked interesting. A survival stealth kinda horror-ish game. Looked interesting. So I figured, well, I've never seen this collection before, so I figured I'd go ahead and pick that up. I've got one more section of pickups. I just don't have them with me right now to show off, so that'll be its own section. But there's one more pickup that I want to show off because it's pretty cool, and I guess that would be a neat way to close out this video. So stick around for that. Okay, I had one more game to show off, and then the big item. So I picked up Donkey Kong Jr. for the Atari, which I have played the original Donkey Kong on Atari, and the graphics are bad, obviously. I'm so used to seeing the NES version, which is close to the arcade version, that when I saw these, I'm like, oh man, that's pretty bad. But there's a charm to it, seeing a Nintendo game on an Atari. Like it's interesting. But what was interesting here is it came with the manual, which I thought was really interesting. And I mean, it's very simple. I mean, it's just a front and back and all that. But notice I had my thumb covering that. I did that on purpose. Because when I brought this home, I realized, wait a minute. That's the manual for the 7800. So it somehow got paired up with the 2600 version of Donkey Kong Jr. So this came out, I mean, the cartridge says 1983, and this says 1988. I'm just thinking, like, that is so bizarre to get a manual for the same game, but on a different console made 5 years later. I don't know, I just thought that was interesting. Alright, now here's the big thing. And I gotta zoom out for this one. My dear cousin was in San Francisco on vacation. And while she was there, she went to the Nintendo store. And I thought this was pretty cool, how they did the bag. You got all the Nintendo characters, well, not all of them, of course, but you got Link, you got the Pikmin, you got the Villager and Isabelle, you got a Splatoon Inkling, and you got Mario, and it has all the characters listed there, just in a different order, because obviously that's not Pikmin, and that's not Mario. But, anyway, I thought that was really cool. The back of the receipts are different Nintendo characters. So you have Splatoon on that one, and you got Pikmin on that one. I thought that was pretty cool. So you're wondering, what did I get? Alright, well, let's take this off the table and take the items out one at a time. We got some magnets, some Mario magnets. So you can almost like create a scene. I mean, you got Mario, you got Luigi, and he can jump over things. I thought this would be kind of fun to have on the mini fridge. Just a fun way to nerd up the kitchen a little bit. So that was the first item I got. Now, I was a little bummed when I realized that the Donkey Kong Country Returns on Switch came with a little barrel, and I'm like, well, that's kind of cool. Well, unfortunately, we weren't able to really find a barrel. I mean, they had a barrel backpack, which was obviously too big, and a cookie jar, which was obviously too big. But we were able to settle with a mug, which is really cool. And I'm thinking, like, like, I know the cookie jar is going to be too big. I don't know where I'd put that. And I don't really eat cookies from cookie jars. I'm not really even allowed to have cookies right now. But I thought, well, like hot chocolate every now and then, maybe I can use that for that. If nothing else, it looks cool. The next thing I got is a Mario pipe, and it's like a pencil holder. But I have some Mario figures, and I also have my amiibos. And I thought that would be a really cool display piece next to... Actually, yeah, I just now realized, oh yeah, I could put these next to the amiibos. I was thinking of my little Mario characters, but I could put this on the Mario amiibo shelf, and I think that would look really cool. Well, I mean, there's not really room for another amiibo, let alone a pipe, but I think it would be really cool to have in that setup on that shelf. And then the last item I got is a Yoshi egg, but it's a lamp. I don't know how it works. Okay, so you have that, so I guess it charges. here we go. I mean, yeah, I turn it on, but obviously it's completely dead. So maybe future me will just post a picture of the egg when it's all set up and stuff. Probably the best way to do it. But it's got the power cable, goes in the back of the egg somehow. It doesn't want to go in the egg. Actually, yeah, it doesn't really fit. It's hard to see on camera, but it should just plug in, and it doesn't. That's kind of upsetting. I'll have to look into that. So anyway, that is what I got from the Nintendo store, and kind of how I always close out these videos. If there's anything that you want to see played on the channel, let me know. Post those in the comments below. I do look at those. I do write those down. Just sometimes life gets a little busy. I'm not able to record as much as I'd like, and obviously I'm boring by myself. So if you guys are requesting certain games, I'll be like, alright, I'll write them down, but that's probably going to be a Kaj game, that's probably going to be a Phoenix game, that's probably going to be a Fruit game, it could be a solo game, but isn't it better to have one of them on the channel with me than to just watch my boring playthrough when somebody else can do it so much better and be funnier and more entertaining? Yeah, that's what I thought. I get it. I'm not offended. But, yeah, I'll go ahead and write them down. So, like I said, just let me know. But before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified for when another video comes out. I'm still uploading episodes of Battle Tanks. I just had a very busy weekend that I was barely at my computer at all. Like Saturday, I didn't even turn my computer on at all because I just wasn't available at all. So yeah, I'm still uploading episodes of Battle Tanks. The series is done. I mean, like, I've recorded all of it. I just gotta upload. So if you guys are enjoying that, hopefully the next episode comes tomorrow. Hopefully. I also have an Instagram where I post. Actually, this will be great stuff to post. Some of this stuff. So yeah, stay tuned for Instagram if I remember to do it, because I always seem to forget to do Instagram posts. Yeah. I also have a Facebook page where you can watch these videos on Facebook. Not really a big deal to watch them on Facebook because it's just the YouTube videos, but it's like just another way to interact with you guys, another avenue to, I guess, see that I uploaded a video. I mean, if you watch the video, it'll probably just send you to YouTube, but whatever. Yeah, I got a Facebook page where you can follow me on there as well. But most importantly is the Discord server where we talk about, well, all the stuff. I mean, we got a lot of video game stuff on there. We talk about anime and Pokemon, and we post memes, talk about nostalgia. We got a lot of great stuff like that. So all you gotta do is just say, hey, I want to join your Discord. I'd be like, alright, cool, here's an invite where we can have fun, hang out, nerd out. Join our community of nerds, and, well, talk about all this stuff. Yeah, so that's all I have to say. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day.